Hello, good morning. Hello. 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 I think it's now live. Hello. How is everybody? I am early again. I've been sort of pottering around down here and realized that I've done the thing that I said I was going to do in the title of this hangout. I have already tidied up the desk, which, yeah, never mind. Honestly not sure what I'm going to do, because the thing that I'm working on at the moment, this one, is a sew along, and obviously I can't film a sew along at the same time that I am doing a live hangout, so I'm not sure what we're going to do today, to be honest. Tidying didn't take as long as I thought it would. We have had, oh, you know what I could do? I really don't want to. So the pink dress that's been hanging up over Mum's side of the room for the last sort of 3 or 4 months is our cleaner's dress, and Mum agreed to hem it for her, and she needs to have it done in 3 weeks' time. And we tried to do it the other day with the overlocker, doing a narrow rolled hem on the overlocker, and the overlocker's now broken. So oh, just send an email to say I've gone live. That's good, because nobody's chatting yet. There's 10 of you here apparently, but nobody's chatting yet, so I'm just waffling into the ether. But yeah, Mum's trimmed the hem of the dress, so I could hem that, couldn't I? I don't want to do a narrow rolled hem on chiffon though. Don't make me. I don't wanna. We could do that. Caroline's here. Happy Sunday. Hello. I'm going to say thank you to some new Patreon peeps whilst I remember, because I have been forgetting for the last couple of weeks. Very lovely Jan has joined the Patreon peeps, or rejoined the Patreon peeps, so welcome Jan, thank you. And the very lovely Barbara has also joined the Patreon peeps, so thank you very much. I put a video out yesterday on Patreon for the waffle, for anyone that is part of the Patreon peeps, you've been seeing a little bit behind the scenes of what's been going on, and plans and finished items and things like that. So that is now available over on Patreon. Debbie's here. Good morning. Good morning, my love. How are you? You've had a very stressful week, haven't you? Julie Elizabeth says good morning. Good morning. I'm going to take some painkillers because I just started talking and my jaw has immediately just started aching. So, do I have the right thing down here? Yes, I do. That's good. I'm going to take some of those because, ouch. Oh, right. Okay. I do have my drink. I do also have medicinal chocolate. No. There we go. That's good. Uncle is here. Hello, everyone. Hi. Debbie says it has. Many, many hugs for you, my lovely. You, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, when you said you weren't coming to the Zoom hangout on Wednesday, it's like, yeah, I can see why. I hope things are going as well as they can for everybody that was involved. So yes, many hugs, my love. Many hugs. Right, what should we do today? I do need to kind of reorganize the viscose, because that new viscose is now in the wrong place. So I could do that. We all know how much I like to fondle the fabric. So that could happen. I really ought to level that hem for Mum, oughtn't I? I don't want to. I really don't want to do a narrow rolled hem on a chiffon. But I should, shouldn't I? No. What else could I do? I could cut out the skirt from that coral viscose for the shirt dress. I could do that. Debbie says, thank you. You're welcome, my lovely. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because I've already tidied. I have already tidied. Oh, sorry. I've been waking up with a cough for a couple of weeks now, and it just was there in the morning. It's about an hour, and then it goes away again. Fun times. So, yes. Oh, you know what I was going to do, and I have plugged in my mini printer. I was going to update my bullet journal because I'm getting a little bit behind. I've got my favorite things from each month, and I've not done January or February yet, so maybe we should do that. Now I've got to try and remember how to do it because it's been a while. Dear user, okay. Ooh. I already have an account, yes. That one. That's me. Log in. Yes, please. Thank you. I don't want Valentine's Day stuff. Right. So, yes. That is cute. Okay, let's print that. Your photo will now print. Will it though? Are you ready? Are you going to do the thing? Oh yeah, it's glowing blue. It's doing the thing. My the lead's not long enough for it to be up on the side, but it's been in its little carry case for the longest time. So yeah. So back in January, I was having I definitely think seasonal affective disorder is something that I have, because quite a few of you have now noticed that this seems to be like an annual reoccurrence of me feeling particularly bad at this time of year. It's printing. But I was having a particularly crappy time in January, and my very lovely friend sent me, we have an in-joke that we are the potato peeps, and so she sent me a crocheted potato, a positive potato, and some keto chocolate, which was very, very kind of her. Now, I didn't like the keto chocolate, but mum and dad did. But the positive potato now has a home next to my little rock people and my Alexa, which lives on a turtle. So that was one of my favourite things. Oh, it's out of paper. That was quick. But I do have, and have bought, lots of packs of paper for my sprocket. Spent a decent chunk of money on it because this is not inexpensive. And I was getting to the point where I was just like hoarding it, and now it's like I need to stop hoarding it and actually like use this stuff, because otherwise what's the point of having the thing? Let's put a couple of packs in my little sprocket holder as well. So it's like a little zinc printer, I think it is. It works with heat, so there's no ink in this thing. So top cover open, close cover to continue printing. So you need more paper first. So Must load facing down. Okay. Put a little. Oops, I got that the wrong way around. Yes. There we go. Cover back on. Now it knows that it's got its paper loaded, so I'm going to plug it back in because its battery is low. And that little blue thing should calibrate the printer, and then you've got 10 sheets in there to print. And what's even nicer is their little stickers. But yeah, so that's one of my favourite memories from January. It was very, very kind of my friend to do that. And it really did lift my spirits, which was very nice. But I've also got some of the other things that I did in January. Like I listened to a couple of books and I watched the entirety of Bones. And I also watched Seal Team, the entirety of Seal Team. So I'm going to print out some pictures and put those in my bullet journal. I think that's a good idea. Let's see. Where did I get to? David Rave says, hi, Sean and Co. Hello. Nimoy says, hello, everyone. Hello. Fox says, hi, Sean. Hello, Peeps. Hello. Naomi says, how long has the skirt been hanging? I'm sure another day won't hurt to get the length right. Don't want it to be wonky. No wonky hems. That one I finished yesterday. So yeah, that one needs some time. The other ones have been hanging for a couple of weeks now, and I could definitely level those. But we all know that if I start doing things like that, then oh, you mean skirt the evening gown? That's a store-bought one. So yeah, but yeah. Nicholas says, good morning from sunny but fresh Inverness. Good morning. David Rave says, I hope you're well. I've been curious to ask you, Sean, and the community here, creative folk, how do you feel physically, mentally, emotionally when feeling creative urge to do something? And how do you feel when satisfied the creative juices? It's definitely my happy place. And it's definitely something that can lift me out of a funk for sure, which I have been noticing a lot recently. Although the video that I put up the other day, the Anaconda Anthesis, words are hard, video, when I filmed that, I hated it. Absolutely hated it. I thought it was awful. So it also clearly depends on my brain chemistry at the time as well as to how I'm feeling. But yeah, I can. It's the creativity and doing things is definitely something that brings me a lot of joy. So yeah, I don't know if that's kind of the answer you were asking for, but yeah, it's definitely it's all round, like my job, my lifeline, my happy place, the whole lot. So yeah. Laurie says, good morning, everyone. Good morning. David Rave says, realise I think I need to get more creative rather than just do. Hope it's okay to ask that on here, Sean. Yeah, of course. Debbie says, that little potato is so cute, isn't it? Isn't it so cute? And Rachel's here. Good morning. Hope you're well, lovely. Thank you. I'm very well. How are you? Very much like the new hair. I watched your waffle the other day, or your catch up the other day, and I enjoyed that very much. It was nice seeing your new room as well. Dorset Thread says, morning all. Good morning. David Rose says, thank you, Sean. Happy place. Lovely to hear. What about others on here? Yes, please let us know. Right. Okay. So I need to work out where I want to put all these things. So we need allow full access. We need a poster of Bones as well. Oh, okay. No, TV show, not actual Bones. Ooh, we knew that was going to happen though, didn't we? Okay, so how do I save it? Save it, save it, save it, save it. I want to add it to I want to save it to my, no, I want to save it to my copy. Will that work? Is it now where I want it? No. Oh, I did the thing. They're up in my room at the moment, but I did do the thing. And actually, they are way pinker and purplier in real life than they are on the website. I thought they were going to be very kind of black and grayscale, but they're actually very, very colourful, even though they're pink, like, dark. So I'm kind of pleased with that. And now my little brain is going crazy with all the kind of things that I could do to make an outfit to go with them. And that's going to be a video that goes out over the summer, because I don't have tickets to a Taylor Swift concert, but this is the outfit I would wear if I was going, is the plan. So yeah. Anyway, says the creativity thing is difficult for me because I always kind of am. Yeah. And Dave and Rove says, thanks, Nimue. Yes, I guess it can become part of one's self-identity, definitely. And Nimue says, the moment I don't have to focus on something, my mind gets busy working on story ideas or crafting projects or something. Yeah, if I'm not making, my brain is usually thinking about, oh, I could do the thing. So yeah. Except apparently I can't do the thing because the thing I'm trying to do. Save, yes. No, I don't. I want to save the image. I want to save the image. Share. It is not doing the thing. Okay, maybe this wasn't the best of ideas because I'm used to doing that on there. But I've got one photo printed out. So that's good. So yes, I will do that at some point, add my pictures to my thing. I also want to add some pictures of my anaconda anthesis to, I want to add some pictures of the anaconda anthesis because I've got that as like a layout in the thing, because it's going to be the big collection that I work on this year. I do have other collections, but I'm just not sure. I want to get through the lemons as yeah, I want to do this one as well. But I've also got like that one to do. So yeah. David Arif says, I wonder if it's like hunger though, or dare I say something else, when you have the urge, you have to do something to satisfy it, but of course it could become such a routine or habit or way of life. Yeah, I mean, I loved what I did so much, or the creative side of things, I decided to make it my job. And I have lost my sojo a couple of times in the last 10 years. It's been 10 years I've been living on the island. So yeah, 10 years since I've properly been trying to make this my full-time job. Yeah, I have experienced some sojo loss, but not a lot. And I think it's just because I genuinely do love this. I was thinking the other day, and I've talked about this quite a few times, like having imposter syndrome and like totally identity crisis about like I have the audacity to put out things on here and say, like teach people how to do something, and I have like no formal training whatsoever, and every now and again my imposter syndrome catches up with me, and it's just like, who do you even think you are to even say that you can do this thing? But I mean, I clearly can do the thing. I clearly, like majority of my wardrobe now is me made. There's very, very, I think maybe 5% of my wardrobe is shop bought now. And the majority of those are pairs of jeans, and that's because I don't have the zero interest in trying to make jeans. Although Sherwoods were having a 20% off their remnants sale, and I might have bought. They had some of the elephant and chameleon Riccardi lawn in the sale, and I bought 2.5 meters to make a shirt, but I don't wear shirts, so I want to make a skirt. So I've bought another remnant of that so that I will have enough to make the dress that I want to make. And then they had some more Paul Smith navy suiting. So I've got 5 meters of the navy suiting there, which I do want to make a dress and a jacket out of. But I've also seen and tried on similar shaped trousers to this shape. Let's see. And I'm thinking, because I was going to try it in the cream suiting I've got, but I don't know that I would like that, because obviously cream is not a minimizing color, but navy is. So I was thinking I wanted to try some trousers like that, because I know some people don't like skinny jeans on me, but I actually, for as much as I said as well after the lookbook video where I filmed in skinny jeans, I was like, I hated how I looked in it, but I hated everything about that. It wasn't just the skinny jeans that I hated on me. It was I was just in a very bad place that week when I filmed everything and looked back at that footage and hated everything, and then put the footage out like 2 weeks later and it was fine. But I actually really like skinny jeans. I know they're not fashionable anymore, but I find them comfortable because they're stretchy, and I like that. I don't know. I wish they were slightly more high-waisted. But I do, out of all the jeans that I've ever tried, they are the comfiest ones that I've ever tried. And I do like them. And I like the fact that I can wear the boots with them the way that I did, and tuck them in and things like that. So I'm thinking maybe that style of trousers might work for me. And so I don't think it's exactly the same as this navy suiting, because this was remnants from Lady McElroy as well. But I have bought a suiting remnant, Paul Smith navy suiting remnant, which is 100% wool, to attempt to make some trousers like those trousers. That board is 20 pieces that I want to try and make over the year, and not necessarily these colors, but I was thinking those trousers would be amazing. That's basically the Jackie dress with wider sleeves. That is a look that I love, and the waistcoat that I want to try and base my waistcoat preference, the one that I'm going to be designing from my slow put on. That is basically the McCalls 8145. That is the new look jacket that I've just made in cream, and I am going to be making a navy one. I think that with those trousers, which are super high waisted, will look really good with that, and also the dress as well. I would like some bodysuits, because I find those that they don't untuck, but I can never buy them because they're too long. This is a nod to the pirate core aesthetic with the ruffle down the front. I think that's lovely. This is a crochet pattern. Nimue has very kindly rewritten the Rose Garden crochet pattern that Caroline got me, and so that I can understand it. She's making one, and Nimue is coming to the retreat in April, May. I'm hoping she might sort of like, I need to start. I've never crocheted anything in my life before. But basically this is also very similar to the Sheridan sweater from Hey June. Oh, no, don't want to get rid of it. As a double-breasted coat from Alaya, and I love Alaya coats. So that I really like. This is a Lydia Millen dress, and I just loved the detailing on this one. I wouldn't want it that short. I would want it longer, but I very much like that. This is a Lindy Bop one, but it's a Trashy Diva honey dress, but it's also like a McCalls pattern, and I have the original 50s pattern, and I love this. And I had this in every single print that they released it in, but it was too short-waisted for me, and I bought like sizes 2s and 4s, and so they just don't fit anymore. That's a dress that I really want to try recreating. This one is a Zimmerman dress with like the lace insertion in it, very much like the white one that I made last year. I just love the print placement on that one. I thought that was absolutely gorgeous, but it's also very reminiscent of a Vogue dress that I have made. This one, obviously not in black, but it's got ruching details, and I wanted to try that with the A-line skirts. And this is very similar to the thing that I'm wearing now, but it's just got some like ribbon details and things on it. Obviously short sleeve, but I would want it long sleeved. The Hearten cardigan, and then I think that is a Dolce & Gabbana cardigan, which again reminds me of Kim Hargreaves. So they were kind of like 20 pieces that I picked out, which actually there's 18 pins. But the waistcoat was the waistcoat and skirt were 2 pieces. That's 19, and I think I deleted the other one. But I thought that again would make a really kind of cohesive capsule wardrobe. So that was something else that I was thinking about. But yeah, I have placed. Sorry, that was a really long-winded way of saying I have placed an order in the Sherwood's remnant sale. Lady McElroy currently have 30% off everything in the sale, which is awesome. And the Fabric Room also have 20% off everything that ends today. If you wanted to get some of the viscose Marrakein for lining purposes, etc., etc., they are having a sale today as well. So yeah, there was a reason that I started off on that rant, and I can't remember what it was. Sorry. But yeah. Naomi says, sorry for a silly question, but what exactly are you using printing and for what purpose? I'm using the HP Sprocket. It's a little thermo like zinc printer, so it uses heat and it prints onto heat activated paper, which is stickers. And I'm using it for my bullet journal, and I won't show you because there's like stuff that I don't want anyone reading, but at the end of each month I have like a favorites page, and so I want to keep track of like what TV or movies I watched, nice things that happened. It's kind of like one of those positive thoughts jars that, you know, if anything nice happens, you put it in, and then at the end of the year, or if you're having a bad time, you kind of like take it out and read it. So like this is, I was going to do a flip through of this, but I've started using it and I've decided I'm not going to. But I am going to buy the Citrus Book Bindery big one for next year. So I will do a video of me setting that one up. But yeah, I basically just kind of keep track of like everything. I have a running task list for things that I need to do of a month. And then each day is kind of like appointments and then journaling for each day kind of thing. So it helps. But yeah, that's what I'm using the printing for. It will get stuck in to the different pages. These are all ones that I've printed out on Canva on my big printer, but for the kind of like favorites and day-to-day things, I want to use my little printer because I bought a bunch of photo paper for it, so I really ought to use it. But that's what that is. Not silly questions. David Arif says, that's amazing, Nimue. I had a colleague who would whip out a pencil and paper and start sketching her fashion design ideas, be it t-shirt, bag, logo, or dress, or whatever. That's awesome. Marie says, morning, everybody. Just popped on to say, I love your Anaconda collection and we'll catch up with you all later. It's dog walking time. Enjoy. Olivia says, good morning from Iowa. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you. Yes, you too. David Moreau says, that's awesome, Sian. Life is great when your income is what you love. Good for you. We are only here once, indeed. Naomi says, 10 years. I remember your first videos on scrapbooking. Wow. In Australia, you're eligible for long service leave. Yeah. Yeah, 10 years. And yeah, the channel did start out as a scrapbooking channel. Yes. David Moreau says, bless you, Sian. I'm sad to hear that, but applaud you for being open about how you feel. And those trousers look great. Jeans may be stretchy, but they're overrated. Professional business trousers are more comfortable to wear. I wear jeans myself, but I still think they're overrated. Olivia says, I still like skinny jeans for my body. You do whatever makes you happy. Yeah. I mean, that's the beauty of fashion. And I'm not saying that people who think I don't look good in skinny jeans are wrong. I just think that the beauty of fashion is that you can pick and choose what trends that you like and wear them for yourself. Like, I am not fashionable. I've never pretended to be fashionable whatsoever. And now that I make my own stuff, I have even more freedom to make exactly what I want and not be dictated to by what I can wear by the high street. That was one of the reasons I started sewing, was because stuff on the high street didn't fit me, but also it just wasn't representative of what I wanted to wear. So I really, really like that about making my own clothes, for sure. And I think as well that when people like Iris, I can never pronounce her last name, but she passed away yesterday. She was 102 and she was absolutely amazing. And I think one of the things that made her absolutely amazing is that she had identified her style and her signature look and the thing that she loved, and she stuck with it regardless of what was in fashion. And she wasn't not fashionable, I'm not saying that at all, because she had that knack of being able to take a trend and make it work for her. But the fact that she just looked so awesome all the time was because she was putting clothes on her body that she loved and that made her feel confident. And that, I think, is the key to looking stylish and feeling stylish. It's feeling confident in what you make and put on your body and wear. So I do actually like me and skinny jeans. When my brain is not being evil and absolutely being mean to me, I do like me and skinny jeans. I think at the moment I'm also a little bigger than I want to be. I lost a bunch of weight last year and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And then I started dating somebody who had a total sugar addiction, and I have no willpower. And so I started eating sugar again, and I put the stone back on that I've lost. And yeah, I want to lose it again, but I've also need to kick the sugar addiction. But this time of year is always one of those, like, as a few of you pointed out, and I've said myself, seasonal affective disorder is, I've not been diagnosed with it, but I went to the doctors last week and they have prescribed me antidepressants, which I have started, and yeah, I need to give it 3 weeks and see how that works out. I'm still on HRT, although the doctor was just like, oh no, I'm very, very not, you're far too young to be on HRT. And it's like, but I more than have the symptoms of perimenopause. Like I've got you've done the blood tests, like I am perimenopausal. And yeah, that's one of the things, because the previous doctor I'd seen was a locum, I think it's called. And so I couldn't see her again because she wasn't there. And so I was seeing somebody else. And so she had very different opinions. And if I'd seen her first, it would have been interesting to see if I would have been prescribed HRT or, I don't know. We'll see. But it's it's a fun world. So yeah, but that was I went onto that tangent because my brain was being mean to me when I was looking at the video of myself back in the skinny jeans, and I genuinely don't think I actually look as bad as my initial brain went. But then my brain thought I looked hideous in the coat and the long coat and the short coat as well as the shirt. So my brain was just being mean that day. Evil brain. Dave on Rope says Olivia is right. Dress to feel great, and the looking great will take care of itself. Absolutely. Brittany says jeans are overrated. Yeah. I think it's kind of interesting as well, that dressing, it's not even dressing up, but dressing, how you like, and going out when it's outside of what's norm is really reacted to as well. And jeans have just become this kind of like staple for everybody. And the shape changes and the colors change and all those kinds of things. But jeans are one of those like almost uniform items that everybody owns. And yeah. Catherine says the problem with making your own jeans is that you can't get the same sort of finish as commercial jeans if you like that finish, because don't have the washing machine full of rocks. Yeah, and I've also seen when they put them onto like blow up legs and then sort of like sand them and do all the de-stressing. Like the way that that's done is fascinating. Yeah. Yeah. Nimue says we can totally schedule some crochet time either during the retreat or we just meet up via Zoom or FaceTime. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Oh, we also need to talk about, let me know your travel plans because you're going to London after the retreat, aren't you? And Nicola really wants to go to the Goldhawk Road. And I know Caroline wants to do a Goldhawk Road meetup as well. And I was just wondering if it's not too much, if we could kind of like come join you if you do the Goldhawk Road when you're over. Yeah, that could be quite fun. Olivia says, I agree about jeans being overrated, but useful when working in the garden and doing other chores. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's Mariah Patty. I really enjoy her channel. And I think she did a video which was 1 rule, but 8 steps to achieving that rule for having a wardrobe that works for you. And one of those was identifying the parts of your life and the different activities that you have in life, and then the clothing that is specific to that you need. So like for me, I don't do any gardening, so I don't really need gardening clothes. I don't really work out, although I'm trying to get back into yoga. So I do have some workout wear, and if I get even more into yoga than I currently am, then maybe I will need to be making myself some yoga stuff because I'm going to be doing it more often. But I like my previous, when I lived in London and did the different jobs that I did there, like one of them I had a uniform, another one I did a lot of black tie events, so I needed to have a huge evening gown selection because I went to a lot of black tie events that had similar people at them, so I couldn't just wear the same gown over and over and over again. I didn't have like loads of gowns, but I had a decent selection of evening gowns, some of which I still have, some of which I don't. But obviously, depending on the lifestyle that you live and the things that you do will dictate what kind of clothing you need in your life. Now, as I've said many, many times, I could really easily wear kind of like my pajamas down here, like my jogging bottoms and a t-shirt. And I have been doing that a lot recently. And that's, I think, again, kind of like mental health stuff. I feel better when I dress like this. Also, it's cold and I've not been really enjoying wearing my scuba dresses this winter, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the hot flushes because they are their own little personal sauna suits, and my body temperature used to be very regular and just very kind of like cold all the time, so wearing a scuba dress was like my own little personal sauna suit, which was awesome. But now with the hot flushes, wearing something like that is, yeah, not the most fun when you can't regulate your temperature as well as you have been doing. Although the HRT has helped with that. The hot flushes have taken a backseat, which has been very, very nice. So yeah, I've not really been enjoying wearing my scuba dresses. So I've been wanting to wear these kind of jersey dresses. So they're still stretchy, but there's a cotton jersey, and the other ones I have are viscose, so more breathable. But I only have 1, 2, 3 of these, and I've got fabric to make 1 more. And then I don't have any more fabrics. Oh, I've got 2 fabrics up there that I want to make Jackie dresses out of, because I have made it a solid coloured Jackie dress and I actually don't like how it looks. And that was out of the scuba as well. And these are cotton jerseys from Stitch Fabric, so they are much higher quality and breathable. So it's, you know, I do feel better when I'm in dresses, but I have been gravitating towards PJs and, you know, jumpers and stuff because it's cold down here. Currently we're at 18 degrees, and so it's heating up, and when it does get hot, when it does heat up, it does get hot. The heater is good, and thanks to all this insulation, it retains the heat really well. But yeah, I've kind of not been wanting to wear my usual winter uniform of like my scuba dresses, so I've been kind of just putting on my sloppy Joe kind of clothes, and that's also affected how I felt, because I feel kind of, yeah, and again, it's personal to me. I'm not saying anyone else wearing that feels like that, but um yeah, it's been interesting, because I cannot wait for spring. Basically, I cannot wait for spring, and being able to wear my viscose dresses with just a cardigan, and then be able to take that on and off as needed. But yeah, sorry, my brain's all over the place at the moment. David Rove says, I find jeans can get a bit frayed in the tumble dryer, but take an age to dry on the hanger. So I guess best just never wash jeans. Aren't you meant to put them in the freezer to kill the bacteria that makes the smells and Febreze them? I don't know. I don't wear jeans very often. Nimue says, jeans are pretty much the only style of trousers they sell in different lengths here. So the only thing I can buy to fit. Clearly have to tackle making trousers. Jojo says, morning all, hope you're all well. What are we up to today? I was planning to tidy my craft room, but just chilling with you all and my knitting table. And my knitting table and my knitting, haha. Yeah, I was meant to be tidying the studio with you guys, but I came down early and did it, and now there's no tidying that needs to be done, except for maybe reorganizing that into the correct place in that part of the stash. So yeah, Jojo says Iris Apfel was an adorable, absolute icon. Yes, and Dave on the Road says Iris, world's oldest teenager by her own description. Yeah. Mim says hello, Sean and everybody, sending you hugs, and hello everybody. Hello, words are hard. Hello, Sean. How are you today? Sending you hugs, and hello everybody. Very well, thank you. How are you? Anyway, says I think we'll have to do London before the retreat, because Yvonne would like to be home for an event on the Wednesday. But if you're not too busy with prep, always more the merrier for fabric shopping. Yeah, that's not going to happen. We will have to do it another time with you. But yeah, Nicola would like to do a Goldhawk Road trip. So that's going to be interesting. And I will let you guys know when it is, probably in May sometime. David Arave says there are all sorts of desk yoga exercises for office workers, may work for sewing workstation desks too. And she says hi to Mim as well. Olivia says, with regard to hot flushes, I found that I definitely need to wear natural material. Linen in the summer has been a game changer. Oh yeah, the scuba dresses have been not the best. But like I said, the HRT is helping with the hot flushes. They have definitely minimized. Rachel says, I would love to have hot flushes. I'm sick of being constantly cold. Yeah, it would be nice to have like just a regular temperature. But no, it's been interesting sitting with Mum at events that we've been going to, like the Ukrainian Christmas party. I'm just like sitting there, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm dying. I'm absolutely like with the Christmas carols playlist. I'm fanning myself. And Mum's sitting there and she's freezing, and I'm just like, yep, nope, really hot. So yeah. Catherine says cotton jersey, floofy maxi dresses with underskirts are the way to go. 3/4 sleeved, not summer ones. Yeah, this has got the 3/4 sleeves. These ones I'm thinking I'm going to turn those into Jackie dresses, and I definitely want. I've got the foliage canopy in the viscose jersey to do another one of these. I was going to do a plain one, but I actually don't think I'm going to like a plain one. I think I like print. I think I have got some plain. Obviously, I'm making a fairly decent chunk of plain things. There's not a lot of print on that rail there, but yeah, oh my god, my brain is all over the place. I think I need to make some more of this kind of dress in cotton jersey. but this is a bit of a fabric hungry beast. It does kind of need sort of at least 4 meters of this one. Yeah. Mim says hi to Dave on a rave. Catherine says that blue and gold bee fabric will be a floofy maxi. Nice. Very much like the Stitcheries McCalls pattern that she's done with the hood and the big floofy sleeves. I can totally imagine though, if I make myself some of those, I will end up living in them. But secret PJs, right? Right. Yeah. Monica's here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. And Nimue says that'll be stunning to Catherine. It will be. I think I need to do that hem for Mum, don't I? I think I need to be a nice daughter and do that. I really don't want to, and our cleaner's giving us a free hour of cleaning for this, and I keep saying to Mum, like, no, you charge £35 an hour. You don't charge £10 an hour or £12 an hour. But she's too nice. She says yes. Oh, don't know if I even have thread that's the right colour. I think mine are all too saturated. Yeah, that's too pink. With that, and that's too gold. Oh dear. Might we end up doing a pale grey? Pale grey goes with everything, doesn't it? Might end up doing a pale grey. No. Oh, come on. Come, that one, Bridget. This one. This one. It's too gold. Oh, wonder if I'm going to have enough of this. No, that's too pink. It's very lilac. Ooh. Oh, you'll do. You're close enough. My random boxo threads. Might put it back in. There we go. Watch me fill up a bobbin with this and oh my gosh, my stomach. And the bobbin get and the thread get eaten by the bobbin completely. And I think this one was nearly empty. Yes, shush. Yes, this was nearly empty. So I'm only going to fill the bobbin up like 50%. So fingers crossed, because I only need to do this one thing with it. I can even start the thread. Oh, come on, Metla. Got it. I got it. Olivia says, I have a question. What is your favourite reference book for sewing? I have a large collection of sewing books and definitely have a couple of favourites that I use when I'm stuck on a certain process. Honestly, YouTube. I do have a few books up there. I have the Socianary by Sewaholic. I genuinely don't look at them though. I did use the pattern, the tailoring guide for the coat the first time I did my green velvet coat. Getting messages. Am I doing something? Oh, Leslie's not able to comment on the live. Hello, Leslie. I'm sorry it's not working for you. Have you tried turning it on and off again? But she's saying about the HRT, vitamin D, magnesium, and omega-3. In a glass of orange juice, aloe juice in a glass, and having some aloe juice in a glass of orange juice. So I'm taking evening primrose oil, magnesium, ashwagandha, vitamin D, and vitamin C. I have four of those are giant, those giant tablets in the morning, so that's fun. But I'm taking those every morning, and then the ashwagandha and the magnesium I am taking again in the evening, because you need to take 2 of those tablets a day. They were all recommended by the doctor that I saw last time. I was already on the vitamin D, C, magnesium, and evening primrose oil, but the ashwagandha is a new one, so I've added that into the mix as well. So yeah, I do basically rattle in the mornings, which is always fun. Rotten Ralph is here. Good morning, Peeps. Good morning. Olivia says, my absolute favourite is Vogue's sewing book because it covers so many topics in depth. I think, yeah, Mum's got it over there, the Vogue sewing book. Yes. Monica says, I loved your fabric pairing video. Amazing fabrics. That McCalls pattern for the yellow shrug is out of print, I believe. Any similar pattern you suggest? I haven't really looked for one, to be honest, so I don't know off the top of my head, but I will. I'm planning on doing a video. Leslie's commenting as well. She said, read that turmeric's meant to help. Yeah, I've seen that as well. So that's another one that I'm having a look at. I'm actually, because of the amount of money that I'm jumping all over the place. Because of the amount of money that I've spent on the vitamins that I've got currently, I'm going to run this section out, but it was a lot of money. So I'm actually going to go to a company called Vital, and you do a survey with them about how old you are, what concerns you have, male or female, those kinds of things, and it's a really long questionnaire, and at the end they're like, right, we think you should take these vitamins, and it's a monthly supply, and it's 30 quid. And they came out with the magnesium, vitamin D, vitamin C. There wasn't evening primrose oil in there, and there wasn't ashwagandha in there, but the other things were all covered. And they send you out in a pre-done daily box, so you just have to. You can, which is nice if you're going away for 2 weeks. You can take your 14-day supply with you, kind of thing, rather than having to take loads of different bottles, or pill boxes are obviously a thing. obviously. But yeah, I thought that was kind of like a neat idea, and because of the amount of money that I've spent so far on vitamins, I thought it was probably going to be a good idea for me as well. So I think I'm going to do that once I've run this month's supply out, basically. But turmeric is something, yes, that I've also heard good things about. So it gets to the point where, I mean, I also realize that, you know, you really have to be going some to do this, but you've seen those episodes of House where people come in and they can't work out what's wrong with them, and they've like OD'd on vitamin C pills or something, and all the vitamins that they've taken together are just like not, you know, like the dosages are off and things like that, and they're making themselves really sick because of like overdosing on vitamins and stuff like that. So that's, I watch too many medical dramas. I really shouldn't. My brain just, you know, is constantly like, oh yeah, so yeah, no, you have that. But I like the idea of getting it all from one source, because that way you theoretically they've done the hard work for you, and you shouldn't be able to OD on vitamins because they're giving you the correct combination and dosage of everything, because they know exactly what you're having together. So that's another reason I liked that idea, given how much I am currently taking of a morning. So much stuff. But yeah, I haven't looked for a similar pattern to the shrug, but I will keep my eye out and see if I can see if anything similar, because I'm going to, I think sorry, my brain really is all over the place at the moment. I think I started out by saying I am going to be doing a video on some of the tweaks that I make to that pattern, because it's designed for chiffon fabric, so not stretch and not bulky, and then I want to make it in a super bulky chunky knit. So I'm going to talk through some of the changes that the reasons that I pick the fabrics that I do, and the changes that I think about and make to a pattern so that it will work for the fabric that I want to use it for when it's not the recommended fabric. So basically a video literally like, you want to make a pattern, you want to use this fabric, but it's not one that's recommended. Can you make it work? And theoretically, yes. And here is how I do it. So that's going to be that video. So I will try and find a pattern that's similar, because as you say, that one is out of print. So I will try and find a pattern that's similar so I can recommend it in, or put it into the description box, because you know I'm going to get a million comments from people saying, I want that pattern, where is it from? And it's annoying when they're not available anymore. I appreciate that it is annoying. Yeah. Let's see, do I have? I do. I have some microtex needles. Let's make life easier and use a microtex needle, because chiffon, I'm not looking forward to this. This will be Mum's Mother's Day present. I mean, it's not going to be. She went out the other day and she found like a local company that do bulb baskets rather than bunches of flowers. Mum would rather have plants than cut flowers, unless she's cutting them herself from the garden, because she does have a cut flower bed. So yeah, here we go. Here we go. Thread the needle. There we go. Darcy says, no, I don't know. Oh, if this is terrible, I'm going to stop doing this because if it drives me up the wall. It's also polyester, so I don't know how well this is going to press. So I think that might irritate me as well, but we will get there. It will be fine. Darcy says, Olivia, my favorite reference is the Reader's Digest because it has photos of everything in sequence. Vogue is fabulous when I'm stuck on a Vogue pattern. I am a book junkyard and proud of it. Nice. Olivia says to Darcy, I have that one also and I agree with you. It's great. Vogue book definitely does help with Vogue patterns. Jen Pin says, morning peeps. My favourite sewing book is Couture Sewing Techniques by Claire B. Schaefer. Also a big user of YouTube. I have that one as well. I think Anna bought me that. Yes, Anna bought me that as a Christmas present one year. So thank you very much, Anna. I read it and I love it. And I haven't referred back to it since. I'm not really a book kind of a girl. I'm more of a video kind of a girl. I like seeing, like, the trouble with photos is it's obviously taken from one step to the next step. I want to see how it gets there. I think that's another reason I started making video tutorials, is because that's how I like to learn. Nimue says, I'm off for some lunch. See you later. Enjoy. Darcy says, ashwagandha is a nice addition. Catherine says, I think my mum had the Reader's Digest book and the 70s, 80s edition, which is supposed to be the best version. Costco, a really good value for vitamins. I get vitamin D from them. Ooh, interesting. Darcy says, finish your cycle before you switch up, save your money. Oh, yeah. And Darcy says, I don't think we have a Costco in the UK. And Catherine says to Darcy, they do. I have membership. I buy my tyres, dry cat food, and Parmesan cheese from them. Olivia says, I have a first edition copy and more modern version. They're very similar, but vintage one does spell things out a little more. Interesting. Darcy says, I take a lot of supplements. I have a degree on how to add herbs to help you. So I'm on a Chinese formula. And she says, neat to Catherine. Didn't know that. Thanks. Anka says, I discovered I'm extremely low on vitamin D after having a horrible vertigo episode, strangely because I took it before and it seems liposoluble and needs to be taken with something more greasy. Interesting. Yeah, when they did my blood test, they said I was vitamin D deficient and I had stopped taking those vitamins, so I've started again. Darcy says, I'm definitely susceptible to clever science and I look into all the claims from the only we can help you with this TV marketing. I don't buy from the phone number on screen. I just look for peer reviewed. Catherine says to Anchor, I take mine with breakfast, so buttered toast with Marmite. Mm-hmm. Teresa says the McCalls pattern 7254 is the shrug pattern. I have bought it this last year. Oh, cool. Thank you. McCalls 7254. Oh, nice. I have that one too. I haven't tried the cropped version, but I do like it. That is nice. It's not exactly the same as the one that I featured, but it's a good. And I have it as well, so I do need to try that. Darcy says, I have Couture Sewing Techniques. I got it from Noelle Costuming Drama. It's very good. Monica says, thank you to Teresa. We'll look that up. Caroline says, Darcy, where are you based? I have 3 near enough to us. Sarah says, morning all. Just popping in for a bit. My family is visiting for the weekend. Oh, very nice to see you. Inaris here says, good morning, Peeps. Good morning. Anka says to Catherine, now I do the same, but I had no idea for a while, so I took them without effect. Ah, interesting. And Dusty says, Sebring, Florida, no Costco close to me. And Sarah says, we found out the baby's gender on Friday. Oh, congratulations. Please share if you want to, but please also don't feel you have to, obviously. Darcy says, Monica says, and yes, vitamins are either water soluble or fat soluble. I think I have experts prepare them for you is an excellent way to go about it. Darcy says, last time I was in England, I went to an Asda, I think. We have many of those. I do have an Asda. I don't have a Costco on the island. Mom and Pop Quilting Shop says, good morning from lovely Nova Scotia in Canada. Good morning. Darcy says, congratulations on your healthy developing pregnancy. Gin and Pin says, the tutorial book shows all the little secrets to make clothes stay in place. Interesting section on internal harness and to control necklines and off-the-shoulder tops. Yeah, I like the little bra catchers. And Lisa says, hi, Shan, can you see my comments? I could see that one, Lisa. Have you been making it? Because Leslie's been struggling as well. I think Leslie's just sent me another message about turmeric, but I only read the beginning of it. Come on. Oh, HRT PCC certificate saves you a lot of money over the year. I will look into that. Thank you. And Darcy says to Lisa that she can see her too. Right. I'm going to start on the lining. Oh, I don't want to do this. I am a nice daughter. Okay. See how this goes. I do have a rolled hem foot, but now is not the time to learn how to use it, especially not on this, because this is not for me. So, yeah. Darcy says, I got my fabric delivered from something yesterday. It's so pretty. Ooh, what did you get? What did you get? Somebody needs to comment so Darcy's comment moves up one. Thank you. From Inari yesterday. It's so pretty. Oh, awesome. Lisa says, I said, sorry I'm late. I've been getting organised as Larry the Prince of Darkness is going to his forever home today. And the next day or so, I have two 9-month-old coming to me called Bert and Ernie. Cute! Are you still getting the kittens? Are you still getting the kittens? Was it you that's having the kittens? Very cute. Mom and Pop Quilt Shop says, you inspired me to make a quilted fox jacket for a friend's daughter. She loves it and I love how unique. That sounds amazing. That sounds absolutely amazing. I made myself a mood board for this year of things that I wanted to try and achieve this year. Like I did the same last year and it went horribly wrong. I basically achieved, everything went backwards for the things I put on there. So this year I have put on things like some of the dresses that I want to try, like the Trashy Diva honey dress, which I'm hoping to do in this collection. But one of the other things was a quilted dress, because I have seen so many people putting them together and they look amazing. And it's not necessarily that I want it to be quilted, but I've got so many scraps of fabric that I was thinking like a ombre kind of style dress or something like that with squares could be fun. I also, as you guys know, I did a strawberry quilt and I have so many jelly rolls of that. So theoretically I could sew those together, and rather than make another quilt which is the same fabric as the quilt that I've made, I could make that into a dress. There's more than enough for a dress there. And it would be a navy, white and red theme, which is very me. But that was one of the things that's on my mood board, as well as my butterfly gown. Why have you skipped a stitch, you bastard? It doesn't matter now, but don't do it later. Why did you skip a stitch? But yeah, quilted clothing. One of the things that there was a whole drama in the quilting community about this. I know Mary Fons, I think it was her daughter, had real issue with people buying old quilts from charity shops and turning them into pieces of clothing. And whilst I do and I don't agree with her, I do think that reworking something that is damaged beyond repair, and obviously you can patch quilts and things like that, but something that's really, really damaged, if you can cut around it and turn it into something new and beautiful that's going to get used, 100% rescue that thing and do that thing. One thing I don't like is when people take something that's perfect as it is and then cut it up for parts. For the quick turnaround kind of videos, I think that's the ones that I have issues with. People who take something and make something beautiful that they then wear out of it, I don't have an issue with that. But people that are doing it just for social media, and there are accounts out there that do that, it doesn't sit so well with me. But I love the idea of attempting to make my own fabric by, you know, piecing fabric together. I don't necessarily think I would quilt it, as in put batting in between it, although the thought of all the raw edges on the inside is driving me potty, and I don't know if I'd want to do it on the overlocker. So I think I would have to stitch it to some cotton lawn so that it was like a double layer, double gauze kind of fabric, but obviously not gauze. But yeah, it's a whole can of worms, isn't it? But I think taking something like obviously the foxy jacket that you're talking about, you obviously made from scratch for your friend's daughter. That sounds like an amazing thing, and it's purposefully done to do that. And Mum has a whole section on her Pinterest, which is quilting for clothing, and some of the like whole cloth quilts where the quilting is the embellishment. I've seen pieces that have been the outline of each piece of the pattern has been put onto the fabric. It's then being quilted, and it's the quilting that's the piece of art, and I just love that as well. So yeah, hopefully that all made sense. Lisa says thanks to Darcy. Jojo says the overlay lace sample for my daughter-in-law's wedding dress turned up this week. It's so pretty. It looks really gorgeous. Lisa says no, they're staying where they are at the fosterer's request. Oh, so you got Bert and Ernie. Oh, cool. Mom and Pop Quilt Shop says patchwork dress sounds lovely. Yes, I really fancy giving that a try. Lisa says she had a tiny flat though when the kits got big enough to trash the place. I think she'll regret not taking them. Lol. Probably yes. Sarah says it's a baby boy. Not gonna lie, a little sad I won't get to make tiny dresses to match my handmade ones, but tiny overalls are adorable too. Absolutely. Teeny tiny bow ties. Bow ties are cool. It's another reason I should not be allowed children. Olivia says to Sarah, congratulations. Catherine says, I did my regular unloading of fabric, scraps, offcuts, and mistakes to a charity shop after a friend works in. 5 bags sold in 1 hour or so. It's in Morningside, so bougie central. Nice. Darcy says, tiny overalls, very sweet. Lisa says, Sarah, when is your baby due? Catherine says, big IKEA Ziploc bags are ideal for bagging fabric scraps up in. Gig Racer says, hi Peeps, hope you're all having a lovely Sunday. Yes, thank you. How are you? Monica says, congratulations to Sarah, but you can make matching button-up shirts for him with your dress fabric or knits. Also true. Darcy says to Lisa, I think you are correct. She will regret not sending the babies into your care. Just the minute they start moving around and stuff. Yeah, totally. And Ari says, don't mean to be a killjoy Peeps, but I am just too sleepy for this hour. Signing off once again. Enjoy your fabric rotten mouth. Yes. Thank you for coming in and saying hi, but I know it's really early for you. So thank you for saying hi. And hopefully you watch back later and see this. So sleep well. Right. We're getting to the chiffon bit. Ooh, thread broke. Great. As I was putting this in, it is a thicker thread, which may have been a bad idea, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, cool. the only one that's the right colour that I had. Might have to go for like a creamy browny beigey colour if this one works out to be too thick. We shall see. You're all good. Darcy says sleep well to Inari. Lisa says I love kits when they get mobile. The back legs go faster than the front legs, so they end up chinning the carpet. Always makes me giggle. Oh bless. I opened a fresh batch of catnip for Chi yesterday because I'd had a big tub of it and it was right to the bottom, and so she wasn't as enthused about it. And I opened a new fresh packet that had been sealed, and she was just like, "Oh, this is the best thing ever!" And so now she's just covered in catnip and she's been rolling around it on the floor, and she's like looking at me like, "Oh!" She's like little space cadet. Jojo says, my grand fur babies, son and daughter-in-law's cats, lol, always wear bow ties in fabrics that match their personalities. They're so cute. Oh. I've never been able to bring myself to put like anything on Chi, just because of a previous experience we had with a past dog. So like I would love for her to wear little bow bandanas and stuff, and she looks really cute in her onesie, her surgical onesie. I think I've shown you guys pictures of that as well. Again, she's high as a kite in these pictures too. Let's see. No, they're my boots. Boots. It was this year. Pretty sure it was this year. No. Yeah, when I had a spade. I'm sure it was July. Was it this year? Was it the previous year? She is there. Oh, it was the previous year. Okay, so that one. Gosh, how long have we lived here now? There he is. Yeah. So she's high as a little kite there, and not at all happy with me. And then, oh yeah, I love that top. And then look at it. She'd had her little belly shaved as well, and she's just so cute. So cute. Yeah, she was not at all impressed with me. Bless her. But yeah. Darcy says, I saw a video of kits trying to make their way across the tile and they were army crawling on their bellies. Oh, cute. Olivia says, I think bow ties need to come back. Monica says, bow ties are so cute. And Darcy says, bow ties are still cool. Yeah. Monica says, I put them on my son, who is 16. I think they never go out of style. I believe it's a vibe. Just do it. Yeah. Darcy says, I was hoping 14 would wear a bow tie at some point. And Key Gracie says, bow ties wouldn't last on my dogs, even though they would look adorable on them. Rio would make it his mission to remove and shred, and Flames, it's hard enough to stop him from eating collars. Yes, Susie does the same. She has harnesses that she only gets put in for walks, and Mum bought her some really expensive ones from Harrods. She didn't realise quite how expensive they were until she got to the cash desk, and I think she spent like 120 quid on a harness. And the dog ate it within hours. She just like put her chin down and gnawed on the bit at the front. And like I say, she doesn't wear them constantly. She only wears them when being walked. So yeah. She was not popular. Darcy says, I can't get my kitties to wear anything around their neck. They just freeze. She's been harness trained since she was 8 weeks old because I knew that I would be taking her lots of places because I knew I would move a lot, and she got used to her cat bag and her harness very early on. But yeah, cats who've not experienced anything on them before, it's really, you shouldn't laugh, but it is really funny watching them kind of like freeze and just fall over, and they're just like, no, this is wrong. Okay, we're into chiffon territory. Oh. Why are you skipping stitches, you little bugger? It's not too much of a big deal because this is just the guide thread for pressing. But you can't be skipping stitches for the real things. I think I'm going to have to move over to like one of my sort of brown threads and just use that one. Lisa says, oh, catnip, drugs for cats. I have to keep mine under lock and key. My old cat Harrison broke into the cupboard once to get the catnip. He was foaming at the mouth, little toad. Yeah, Chi, if I keep mine under lock and key as well, Chi, if she could get it, would live in it. Yeah, but it's really funny because cats obviously recognize words, and so now it's just like she does certain things when she wants catnip, and it's like drugs. She's like, would you like the drugs? We're having this really strange conversation, if anyone can overhear it. Drugs, but would you like drugs? It's like, yeah. Darcy says, cat bags they appreciate, but it's just another place to hide. Jane sneaks back into his before the vet's done. Oh, and I need to get more catnip. Olivia says, I think we're all holding our breath while you're sewing the chiffon. Yeah, why am I doing this to myself? Darcy says, I keep mine in the freezer. Gig Racer says, I wish there was a catnip equivalent for dogs. And Lisa says, lol. Oh. Right, okay, well, I'm going to persevere with this thread, but I'm not going to use this thread for the next 2 passes because it is, I think, maybe too thick. It's also cotton thread, which does tend to break a lot more, but, you know, it's doing what I need it to do, which is, as I say, the guide for pressing. Hopefully this chiffon presses, we'll see. Box says, imagine cops in the house. Where are the drugs? And she's like, yeah. Yeah, can you imagine I get raided for drug possession and the cat's just like, this way. Darcy's like, Vox, and she leads them to the cat. She'd be like, look, in this cupboard here. It's like I have a 2 cat drawers in my bedside table. 2 are for me and 2 are for Chi. And I keep my snacks in one of them, but obviously it makes the same sound as the one that I keep her snacks in. So every time I open it for a snack for me, she's just like, "What happened to be for me?" Okay, so it's sewing now. That's nice. Noah says, hello, I'm back. Don't forget to like the stream, peeps. Yes, please. There's 89 of us and 29 likes. It does help, honestly. Had anyone else noticed that I was saying anaconda antithesis incorrectly? Or had everyone else done the same thing that I did, which is when you read a word, and it's a study done on this, when you read a word and the first and the last letters are the right letters, then it doesn't matter what's going on in between, your brain can interpret what it is. And I'd never heard of antithesis before, I'd never heard the words. So in my head, I was adding an extra T and an I and calling it antithesis. I have no idea how my brain, well, I do, the reasons that I've just said, that's why my brain was not looking at the word and going, it's this thing. I looked at the word, never heard of the actual word, so filled in the blanks, and now forevermore, I was, yeah. Catherine says, I wondered if you typed the name antithesis wrong instead of antithesis. I was writing it correctly. I was just saying it incorrectly. Antithesis is the stage where flowers come into bloom from bud, apparently. But antithesis is like the opposite, the juxtaposition of two diametrically opposite things. Juxtaposition can be more broadly used, apparently. I've been looking into this. But antithesis is very juxtaposition can be used for a wide variety of things, but antithesis is the polar opposites of each other, is my understanding of it. But yeah, Darcy says, mine know the sound of a specific drawer in which the G food is in. I can't say the other word. yeah, no, she's very aware of me whenever I open one of those drawers, and she's just like, oh, treats for Chi. And I'm like, no. And Darcy says, which one is it? So the fabric is actually called Anaconda Antithesis, not Antithesis. I thought that was a really cool name, but yeah. Darcy says it's the anti towards the thesis. Let's see, the etymology of words, or not, it's not even the origin of words. Yes, no, it is the origin of words, but yeah. Laurel's here. Good morning, Shannon Peeps. Hello. But yeah, no, I genuinely, in my head, had that it was antithesis. And it made sense because snakes, like flora and fauna, snakes and flowers, it just made sense to me. But no, and I mean, I've been even saying it to Lady McCalls, like the guy to Ray at Lady McCalls, I'd be like, antithesis, and he's probably just been like, I don't want to correct her. Because yeah, I was saying to them, I was like, please bring it out on one of your viscoses, like Riccardi. If you could bring it out on the Riccardi lawn, that would be amazing. And they're like, yeah, April sort of time. And then we've been getting into the discussion as well that they're not actually anacondas; they are blue racer snakes, which are very beautiful. And then it was getting into the, have you seen the white-lipped python? And if they could actually put that onto a fabric, but then because the white-lipped python in certain lights is basically holographic, it's iridescent, it's beautiful. It's like, if they could do that on a fabric, like, oh, still think they should let me design the dragon fabric as well. We did start talks about that a couple of years ago, but I don't think their in-house design team was very pleased about having somebody come out from outside and go, can you make this? Darcy says, when you're putting forth a thesis in your writing and you also present the contrary arguments in your research paper. Interesting. Thank you. Because I did look it up. In the English dictionary, the Oxford English Dictionary, because I was just like, have I been getting have I been getting like the word just like words completely wrong my entire life. So a person or thing is a direct opposite of someone else. Love is the antithesis of selfishness, or a contrast between two things. The occult and rational mentalities. A rhetorical or literary device when an idea when an opposition or contrast of ideas is expressed. Yes, awesome. And then 2, in Hegelian philosophy, the negation of a thesis is the second stage of the process of dialectic reasoning compared with synthesis. So yeah, that one just, yeah. And then anthesis, the flowering period of a plant from opening of the flower bud. I just, yeah, I had no clue. I'd never heard that word before. So thank you for Noelia for pointing out for me, because I genuinely would have carried on with antithesis the entire time. So yeah. Dusty says, did you see the video of the new species of anaconda? I did. There's 6 now, isn't there? Because there were 5. I mean, the Amazon's constantly going, look, here's a new shiny thing. Laurel says, now I need to look up a white-lipped python. It sounds gorgeous. It is. And that's why I didn't put it into the waffle. I was going to put pictures up of the snakes, but I know some people are absolutely terrified of snakes. And so I was just like, oh, it maybe putting up photos of snakes might be a step too far. So I didn't put them into the waffle. But yeah, the white-lipped python. And when you see it actually move, oh, it's pretty. It's really pretty. I love snakes. Lisa says, I'm terrified of snakes and anything that resembles a snake, slow worm, etc. Or slow worm, etc. Yes, no, I do appreciate that it's not for everybody. Darcy says, Lisa, don't look up the video above. No, don't. Lisa says, I won't. Thanks, lol. Darcy says, I always put a trigger warning on my recommendations. Yeah, I did think about putting a trigger warning on the Patreon waffle and then putting the pictures of the snakes in, but I decided just not to do it because I know that there's a majority of people that are not snake fans. So I thought it would be better to give them the name of the snake, and so like Laurel's doing, going and looking it up and just being like, ooh, that's a pretty snake. Yeah, somehow TikTok is also TikTok is the reason that I know white-lipped pythons exist. TikTok for some reason has decided to show me snake videos, and so I've shown an interest, and now it's showing me more and more snake videos, and it's just like, oh, they're so pretty. Monica says, snakes and flowers on fabric, love. Snakes in person, fear. I would have loved to have had a snake as a kid. Mum said no. I've got a picture of me holding like a 6-foot python when I'm about 14 years old, and it's just like, I think they're gorgeous. The other thing is, though, I wouldn't be able to feed them. I just couldn't feed them. I know, no, I just couldn't do it. They'd have to live on eggs. So yeah, but I can appreciate them for the beautiful things that they are. Darcy says, I used to have a gif of a peacock spider playing the song of the people and got yelled at because it was my icon. Darcy says, frozen chicken legs, maybe. And Jojo says, ooh, that's a pretty snake. Isn't it pretty? And when it moves, so pretty. If they could get that, because they can make holographic, so it's like they print foil on fabric, right? It'd probably end up being really expensive, but can you imagine Lady McElroy doing a snake print with holographic white-lipped pythons on it? I need to win the lottery, and then I can pay them to do it. Lynn says, hello, just tuned in whilst I'm having my lunch and very glad we don't have snakes here in Northern Ireland. Thank you, St. Patrick. Oh, I loved your suit. Your finished suit looks amazing. Laurel says, ooh, they're pretty, aren't they? Aren't they? Just imagine those on fabric. Oh my gosh, this is going to take me forever to do. So much stress. So much stress. It's all right. We'll get there. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Totally fine. Jenny says, we went to a snake show in Thailand years ago, and afterwards the other people in our tour said watching my face was comical. I was sitting as far away as possible. Oh, bless. Jojo says, or faux leather like the blue fabric Erica gave you, that would be stunning. That would be. Ooh, that would be nice. Darcy says, I can see you definitely pulling a Bianca and embellishing holographic snakes onto your outfit. Yes. Although we have seen my attempts to slavishly copy Bianca have gone horribly, horribly wrong. So I need to put my own spin on it. But yes. It always says, maybe follow Bianca down the heat stick foil and create your own holographic snake motifs on garments and bags. That sounds like a really good idea. Lisa says, I tried watching the movie Snakes on a Plane. I managed about 30 seconds of snakes before running from the room screaming in terror. Oh, bless. I find that film hilarious, though. I love that. Yeah, Samuel Jackson's awesome. Catherine says, someone I knew in college had a pet garter snake. I met it. Oh, my friend had a pet, the coral snake, the stripy one. Corn snake, not coral snake. Coral snake's the one that they look like, that they replicate, because coral snakes are venomous, not poisonous. Poisonous is if you eat the thing and it kills you. Venomous is if it bites you and it kills you. But yeah, corn snakes have the rings on them to try and trick other predators into thinking, oh no, mustn't eat. Lisa says, my son has a ball python called Stephen, I think that says. The heart's in the way. He buys frozen rats for it. Oh, see, that's why I couldn't feed it, because I used to keep rats as well. I'd love to have rats again, actually. They're so cute. And again, I've accidentally fallen down that side of TikTok as well. TikTok's evil. I need to delete it, but I find it so fascinating. I would never have discovered the white lip python if it hadn't have been for TikTok. So, you know. I am not enjoying this. This is not fun. Jojo says, oh, Lisa, I feel for you, but I love that film. Yeah. And Lisa says, honestly, I'm pathetic. Don't worry. I can't watch Event Horizon. I've watched it once and I had nightmares. I watched it when I was 18 and I still have nightmares to this day, and I'm almost 45. I cannot, that film I run screaming from. Sam Neill is the very nice person from Jurassic Park or Merlin. He does not rip his own eyeballs out. No. But now whenever I see Sam Neill in anything else, he's always in my head. That Event Horizon character. I cannot watch those kinds of films. No. Nope. Not pathetic at all. Darcy says, you like your pets furry instead of scaly, and that's perfectly fine. Christine says, I've only just joined in and I have a phobia of snakes. Oh, Christine, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Nimue says, there's an interesting theory about how much our vision has developed in response to the danger of snakes. PBS Eons has a video about it. Proceed with caution if afraid of snakes, and thank you for the warning. But that sounds fascinating. Lisa says, yes, Darcy, I do pink and fluffy. Lol. Laurel says, in boarding school, my roommates and I had illicit green vine snake named George, lime green and almost as thin as a pencil. He loved to wrap himself around eyeglasses and perch there. Oh, that sounds so cute. So it's the the gold necklace that I put up in the anaconda video. I really, really want that, and I think it's going to be my birthday present to myself this year. But then I've also started finding all of these different people that do snake bangles in gold, and Copperist is one of them, and he does like brass ones, but there's some gold ones that he does as well, and I'm just like, I need them. I need them all. Yeah. There's also some gold snake earring cuffs that are just amazing. I'm very happy with my little new gold hoops though, so I just, yeah. Darcy says, Event Horizon is an intense experience. I have a similar experience with a few films that I have only seen once. And the show about vision development was very good on PBS Eons. Interesting. Lisa says, no, a snake wrapped around your glasses is not cute. Lol. I'm sorry. We should get off the snake topic because there is lots of people who feel very strongly about snakes. Yeah. I remember my ex really disliked Chiana, and so we were talking about, because we've been talking about moving in together and living together for the rest of our lives kind of thing, and I was just like, oh well, you know, I'm responsible for Chiana until obviously she, you know, hopefully for, at the time it was another 10 years, but I was like, you know, he likes dogs, but I just don't think he likes cats. He had cats as a kid, but his mum's cat attacked him, and that was his only story about his cat growing up, was how it had attacked his arm, and he still had a scar on his arm from this attack that the cat had done. And he did try and treat Chi the way that he treated dogs, and so I tried to teach him, like, you know, actually you need to look out for these warning signs because she's going to bite you. Because you're doing something. She didn't bite him hard, but you know, she was just like, she told him with her ears and like body language, stop, and he didn't. So she you know, snapped a couple of times, and he learned, and he did try. But I remember saying to him, it was just like, I'm always going to want pets. I'm always going to want pets. And I was like, well, we could get rats instead, because, you know, like, and he was just like horrified. I think that was when he realized that we were very different people, and yeah, he didn't. I don't think he was then thinking, I don't want this as my future. It's like, I would love to have parrots as a pet, but I know how much hard work they are and how much of a lifelong commitment they are, because obviously parrots live longer than some of them live longer than we do. So, you know, I appreciate that it's just not something that I have. It's the same as horses. I would love to have a horse, but I do not have the time to look after a horse. But yeah. Rotten Ralph says, I can't watch Saving Private Ryan again. The beginning is too much for me. I've never seen it. I just can't. Things like that are based on true stories. I mean, obviously not true. It's, you know, it's true events, things that actually happened and things that people did to each other. I can't watch it. I want fantasy. I watched The Nevers the other day. I hadn't seen that before, and I really enjoyed it. So that was good. It was only 6 episodes long though. So what's that all about? And Claudia Black was in it. So, oh, I love you. Yeah, no, I need fantasy and sci-fi for sure. Then says, to change the subject, what did you think of the cape coat Bianca made in this month's Patreon? I'm very happy that it's living rent-free in my head now. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Like, I still have the McCalls cape on my sew-alongs to do, but I actually don't think I'm going to do that one, because now that I've learned that, you know, something that cuts off at that length on me is just not a good look. I think I want to switch over and do the Vogue long cape, which is similar. It has like the buttons down the front and then the belt. But I loved the one that she belts that she did. It's absolutely gorgeous. I also really like the one and have Bernadette banners as well. I had the pattern for that, so yeah. Darcy says, I watched a tortoise named Tiptoe on the Shorts channel, and the Nevers was brilliant. Lisa says, I found a shop in my town that sells trim and lace, etc. A friend told me about it. I went to have a look and got relieved of £15 off on the bargain bin. Gorgeous crochet lace and end of roll lace fabric. Nice. Jojo says, I want to go and a hippogriff. Gimme. Lol. Baby coo. I want a baby coo. So the fluffy ones. Yeah. And goats. Oh, I want to go back to the alpaca farm. Oh, we did that in 2020, Mum and I. We went to the alpaca farm. It was 2020 was the start of the Patreon days out. That was the first and only one. The idea was that Mum and I were going to go and do things around the island and make videos of it and share it with the Patreon peeps. And we started in March 2020. Me and my genius ideas. But I really enjoyed the alpaca farm and I would like to go back. Because they had cats. They had a lovely barn cat. He was very handsome. And they had all the baby goats and they had the baby chickens and they had a giant chicken. Like, honestly, the chicken was like this big. It was huge. And then obviously the alpacas and the llamas. It was very cute. Lisa says, as for a horse, I wrote to the Queen when I was a kid asking if she could get me a horse. She wrote back and said no. I thought, well, you're a bit of a rubbish queen. Nice that she wrote you back though. Darcy says, Tiptoe was hand-sized and now he has become a backyard enclosure. He is huge and his owner has made it beautiful for him. Lovely. Monica says, while listening and cringing with all the snakes talk, I've been Googling the McCalls 7254 Bolero Teresa mentioned earlier and just loving it. Need to make one up ASAP. It is a good pattern and I do have it, so maybe I ought to feature that and make one of those as like an alternative to the other one. Catherine says, moving away from companion animals and quite possibly radical opinion, but the Sainsbury's Posh Dark Chocolate Ginger Biscuits are better than the Marks and Spencer's one. Interesting. Jojo says, oh yeah, a hairy Highland coo. Yes. Darcy says, I want goats, some for cheese, some for fibre and some for meat, but goat curry is delicious. I actually had goat curry at the YouTuber event I was invited to in Northampton a couple of years ago, and it was delicious. It was a Caribbean catering company. It was better test. Yeah. Olivia says, I would love to have a Maine Coon cat. Me too. My friend has two. The Ron Perlman cats. So Felicia says, hi all, hope you're all well. Catching a live with actual sewing as I go to sleep. I know, who even am I? And good night. Thank you for coming and saying hi. I'm sewing, it's somebody else's sewing as well. It's somebody else's sewing for somebody else. Who even am I? What is going on? Mum feels so bad about the overlocker though, bless her. And it's not her fault. The thing's meant to be designed to do a narrow rolled hem. I think the lower loop has gone funny because I've tried to put it back to the original settings. The thread just keeps breaking. It does not sound happy. But it also hasn't been serviced for a while, so taking it back in for a service is not going to do it any harm. Just as another point, the chiffon layers of this dress have been French seamed. The interior has been overlocked, sewn together and overlocked, the lining, but the chiffon layers have been French seamed. Caroline says to Catherine, I didn't know that they never make that sort of thing gluten-free. Darcy says, I'm more likely to make an Eton jacket than a shrug from fabric. And to Olivia says, I have a few, they are sweet kitties. Olivia says to Darcy, they are so beautiful. Darcy says, my first Maine Coon broke into my solo apartment with my first night sleeping alone there. She was a welcome addition. So cute. Catherine says, my hairdresser has a Maine Coon cat. He has a salon at his house, and Major, one of his cats, will sit on your lap while you get your hair washed. That sounds amazing. So Felicia says, I've been sewing, made matching palazzo pants for my sister and her two friends going on a cruise. Apparently matching clothes is a thing. Who knew? Rachel Lynn says, good morning, what you making? I am attempting to do a narrow rolled hem on our cleaner's evening gown for an event she's going to in 3 weeks, because Mum tried to do it on the overlocker doing a narrow rolled hem, and I think the overlocker is now broken. So, yeah. Because the other thing that I have cut out ready to be sewn is the 9076, and that is a sew along, which I will be doing when I'm finishing off with you guys. I've done the skirts, so I need to do the fiddly bits. Oh, you fluffing thing. I'm just thinking the thread hasn't broken for a while. That's nice. So yeah, I need to do the fiddly bits for the dress, and like the placket, and it's just shredded. The rouleau loops for the buttons, and things like that. And then I'm going to work on the sleeves. Then I'm going to do the bodice, and then I can put it all together. And obviously doing it in that order makes it go together quicker, because that is just, you know, how my brain works. And clearly has no basis in reality, but in my head. Darcy says, your mum broke the overlocker. Well, when I did the thing, because I set it up and started and showed her how to do it, it was fine. And then Mum did the thing and it kept breaking. The thread kept breaking, and then the overlocker just wouldn't stay threaded. So, and it's the second time that she's used it and this has happened. I genuinely don't think Mum broke it. I think it hasn't been serviced for a while, since we've been here, so it just needs to be looked at. And it is set up to do a narrow rolled hem. You know, it's a function that it has. The book talks you through setting it up to do that. So I think it's just in need of a service, which we will do. But it's kind of unfortunate because I had planned March to be the knit projects from this collection. I was going to get all the knit projects done. Yeah. Never mind. I can pivot. I've got plenty of projects to choose from and work on. I just thought getting the knit projects done would be a good thing, because the ones that I'm really excited about are like the actual Anaconda and Thesis pieces. I really, really want to, you know, make the dresses and the shirts out of those. And I don't want to make those and then lose momentum for this. So I was thinking I'll do as many of the plains first. But then I could also do the Bruyere shirts, because there's a couple of those. I will not have things to do. Monica says matching is so a thing. Coordinating sets are all the rage. Even my hubby wants a matching button up to go with my dresses, and I'm all for it. Nice. Rachel says, "Oh no, poor overlocker." No. Olivia says it broke because of the chiffon. It's the devil. Yes. Lisa says just posted a picture of Nelson, cousin of Hedwig, completely hand stitched on the group. I will have to have a look in a second. Laurel says, I need a serger troubleshooting. If the differential feed is set as low as it can go, but the fabric still scrunches up ever so slightly, what can I do to fix that? Good question. I have no idea. Anybody else? Darcy says, chiffon is a devilish fabric. It's true. Lisa says, Nelson was made as a Christmas gift for my grandson. Grace says, chiffon is evil. I resorted to using strips of tissue paper underneath so it would sew nicely. That seemed to help. Yes, and I may well end up doing that. I made a dress and hemmed it with the overlocker, and it was a chiffon dress, and I really liked it. Oh, cool! He was very cool. I like. Yeah, I hemmed it on the narrow rolled hem on the overlocker, and I really liked how that came out, and it was actually not that difficult to do, and it had a much bigger hem than this one. But yeah, so that's when Mum said, oh, she wants us to hem this. I was like, say no. And she said, I did say no. She kept asking, and I was like, well, continue to say no. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, we can do a narrow rolled hem on the overlocker. It'll be fine. Where did I get to? Darcy says, Nelson is very handsome. He is indeed. Caroline says to Lisa, what pattern did you use? Lisa says, thanks. I was really pleased with how he turned out. I think it was a butterick pattern, but can't remember. Do you know the shoulder dragons are from BZ Arts? They have got some cute patterns on there. It's a good job I don't need an army of plushies. Oh, do I? Do I need an army of plushies? I have a hedgehog and a dragon and a dog in here. Do I need an army of plushies? Concentration phase. Lisa says the fur fabric was too thick to go under the machine, so I had to hand stitch him. Leslie says, I'm late to the party, lol. Welcome. Yannick says, hello all, I'm happy to have caught the live. Welcome. Lisa says, I used to make traditional teddy bears. I've made all kinds of things. Rachel then says, we all need an army of plushies. Olivia says, can you sew this for me? Dang, autocorrect. Did I miss the original comment? Darcy says, I loaned my shoulder dragon and my Care Bear sewing patterns to my sister to trace for her sewing classes that she teaches. Cute. Vox says, I'm sewing buttons, takes forever. How do you peeps sew buttons, by hand or by machine? Usually by hand. I find it really fiddly to get them in the right place on machine. And honestly, Mum, I haven't found the problem, but Mum says hers keep flying off when she did hers by machine. I like the dress that you finished. It's kind of navy, right, Box? Did I get that right? Darcy says by hand. Almost done with the chiffon layer. We're back to the lining. Mum was really confused by this. She's like, the lining and the chiffon are attached. How does that work? And it's like, there's a split. And so they've lined the chiffon with the split. And she's like, oh. They've used the selvage on both fabrics for that. Interesting. This is one of those projects that's been sitting around for ages. You guys have seen this in the background and asked about it constantly for ages. And neither of us wanted to do it. So that's why it's been there for so long. And it's just going to be really nice to have it done out of here. So, yes. Key Gracer says, I do them by hand, but only because I haven't worked up the courage to try machine sewing them on. Nimue says, I do buttons by hand. Monica says, by hand, don't like it. I want to get the banana foot. Laurel says, I hand sew my buttons too. Nimue says, the shoulder dragon is still on my to-do list because I want one. Also, I want a dragon scarf. Yes. One of you guys also put up a dragon knitting pattern. I had already saved it in my Ravelry. Definitely one that I want to give to Mum. Although I don't think she's ever going to finish knitting this Catherine of Aragon sweater for Nia. And then she's got to finish her Anne Boleyn. Catherine says, by hand. The last few have been shank buttons on wool coats anyway, with shell buttons behind, so no option but by hand. Book says, yes, I'm trying a new pattern in the navy linen. I also tried some embroidery in the collar. It's a bit wonky, but not too bad. I saw it, it's so cute. I really want to do a, like, I think an 8577 with a detachable collar so that I can have different embroidery motifs on the collar, because I really want a white one with a lipstick kiss on it. I don't know why. And then I've seen another company that has 2 giant bees embroidered. Did you do a bee? I can't remember. I know you did 2. They were different on each part of the collar. I love it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. But I really fancy doing the detachable collar so you can have different options. I've even bought the bee embroidery. Monica says, but I think I can just use my open embroidery foot in a zigzag stitch, but I don't know where the setting or the size of the zigzag to use. So if you, again, my machine has like an automatic, I can just tell it I'm going to sew a button on, and it's like, okay, sure, put this foot on and I shall do the thing for you. But apparently all buttons have exactly the same spacing between their holes. So once you've worked that out, then let's just write those settings down, because it will be the same for every button. But yeah. Lisa says, looking at the shoulder dragon patterns, how cute are they? I know, so cute. I really do need to make myself one. I've made 2 and given them away, and I need to make myself one. I think it needs to be a leafy dragon as well. Leafy. Darcy says, Lisa, they're very fiddly but worth it. Yes. Vox says to Gig Grace the same. I'm afraid to try it in the machine. Gig Grace says, I even put the foot for it. Still too afraid to try it. Olivia says, did you see the octopus knitted stuffy? It's huge. I saw one that was crocheted. I think it was crocheted. Somebody put it up on the Peeps group and she's like, yeah, thank you. Catherine says, would have thought by machine would be more likely to fall off. Once the thread gets too loose, nothing can stop it from all coming apart. My machine also has a button foot. Yeah, Vox says, a mushroom and a frog. That was it. Thank you. I thought they were cute. Lisa says, Darcy, at some point I might have to go. I'm happy to hand stitch if it's fiddly. Darcy says, detachable collars are very nice. Vox says, I have seen detachable collar with little snap buttons on the inside. It's a great idea to make the dress more versatile. That's what I thought. Yeah, I like the idea. I think I would probably use like little buttons and buttonholes, maybe. Only because the press does I have a huge, but I can always get small ones, couldn't I? But yeah, I really like the idea of that. Only because as well, the dresses that I've seen with the embroidery on are very small dresses. But once you've got it on the dress permanently, obviously it's that style. But I want to make like an 8577, which takes 5 meters of fabric. So I was thinking if I got like a, it'd probably be a plain one. My first plain 8577. Who even am I? But yeah, then you could put in like the interest with the detachable collar. I really like that idea. Monica says, "Oh, thank you, Sian. I think my Benina also has that setting for sewing buttons." Yeah, it's in the buttonhole menu. If you just scroll to the end of the buttonhole menu, it should have button function there. Darcy says, Lisa, if you ever plan to wander around with one on your shoulder, be certain that you balance the weight on your shoulder before you close it completely. Unique says, by hand, I'm too scared to break my machine. God knows I would be the one to do it. Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's just like, nobody can mess this up. Hold my beer. I could totally mess this up. My issue is getting them in the right place. God, I've been waffling at you guys for 2 hours. So this afternoon I really do have to get on and sew the 9076 because I'm planning on that being this Wednesday's videos. Or video. I will, I think I've mentioned a few times, be putting the pattern review out as a separate video because I think the algorithm will prefer that. And, you know, not everybody wants to, well, exactly, not everybody is going to watch an 1.5-hour long video for just the review. And the review goes at the front, but the algorithm doesn't like it when people drop off the video at a specific point. So, yeah. Caroline says, traditionally they use little gold safety pins for collars and cuffs. Oh, interesting. Excuse me. Catherine says, have finished the shirt except for the buttons. They are in the post. Lisa says, when sewing on a button with the machine, hand crank the machine slowly on a zigzag till you get the correct stitch size and then sew the button. Remember to drop the feed dogs. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think mine, yeah, mine must do it automatically. Lynn says, oh, I always machine sew buttons because I'm rubbish at sewing them by hand. I position them on the fabric with sellotape and sew through that. Saw that tip years ago on the interwebs. I was going to say I've seen that tip before as well, and I probably ought to try it, but I have never gotten around to it. Darcy says to Catherine, if you leave long tails and finish the threads by threading a needle and then knot and burying it, it's fairly safe. I do that whenever I have a button loosen. You can also use thread check on the thread for buttons. It's something I've done a few times, not often, but you can do that too. Nearly done. That's the easy part of this process done. Olivia says, totally off subject. My husband decided to watch his carbs 18 days ago. He's down 15 pounds. I've been watching my carb for 10 months and I'm down 10 pounds. Oh, that's unfair. Did he have more to lose though? Because it's been the other way around for mum and dad. Dad's kind of plateaued and got stuck and hasn't really changed at all, which has been very frustrating. And mum's maintaining at her goal weight. She got to her goal weight. She lost like 1.5 stones, and she, yeah. I'm definitely going to change the thread because this one's just not happy. Oh, you've got like 2 inches to go and you broke. Annoying. Yeah, this thread's not happy. Catherine says to Olivia, that's just unfair. Darcy says, I don't carry freight check in my kit out and about. I think I need to add some because you are not the only person who has mentioned it to me. Olivia says, why do men lose weight faster? I'm proud of him and excited for his success, but it's still, he still eats sweets and I don't. No, I have more. No, I have more to lose. That's not fair. That is not fair. Not fair at all. Oh, no. This thread is cotton as well, so it's just throwing off so much fluff. Okay, let's try that again. Last little bits. Come on, you've got like 4 inches to do. Darcy says to Olivia, that must be frustrating. Is he dehydrated though? That much, that fast is a lot of water. Unique says, I lost 50 pounds myself last year. My only goal for this year is to keep it off. Nice. Yeah, I want to get back to my, I think 10-10. I was down to 10-9 last year, this time last year. So I've got, what's that, 18 pounds to lose. But it doesn't help that I am eating all of the sugar still. That's my problem. I quit sugar and then I got back on it and I have not been able to quit it again. So I need to try and do that because it was so much better. I felt lighter and it was, just easier and it felt more like me. So yeah. Right, I'm 100% changing the thread because I am not, that one is just a guide thread. I'm not going through that again for the ones that actually have to be in place. So, no. Not doing that. So I'm going to go and get like, what's too light? I've got like a beigey coloured Yeah, because none of the threads that I've got are exactly the right colour. It's a really odd pink colour. It's very dusty. One's embroidery thread back. Need to iron this now. It's going to be a bunch of fun. Right. Spilled a little bit of the water, so let's mop that up. And then we can iron. So, yeah, I think it's that colour. Where's my little dentist mirror? There it is. And there you go. Yeah. There's little pink fluffs everywhere. There we go. Okay. Why are you not picking up this thread? That's better. Right. Where did you get to with the chat? Darcy says, congratulations to Unique. Unique says, thank you. I've had entirely too much fun sewing for my new figure. And by sewing, I do mean buying lots of fabric. Lol, nice. Darcy says to Unique, but with the fabric, the possibilities are endless. Olivia says, no, but he's very diligent on keeping hydrated, so it's under he is under a doctor's care. Lisa says, now I have seen the shoulder dragons, I have the urge to make cute plush dragons. We do need a dragon army. Because I was going to do a sew-along for them, but there's already a sew-along out there, which is brilliant, and I wouldn't change a thing, so there's no point in me doing a sew-along. But we ought to do like a month of like, let's everybody make some shoulder dragons. Laurel says, do scales in the UK give your weight in stones, or do you mentally convert it? We don't do stones in the US. The one time we're sane about units of measurement. My scales will do it in kilos, stone, or pounds. Catherine says, Laurel, yes, they give us stones and kilos. And Olivia says, years ago, Sian mentioned stones, so I had to Google it. Unique says to Darcy, that's how I justify all of my fabric splurges. Good Grace says, my parents in Australia too have old scales that measure in both stones and pounds and kilograms as their secondary measurement scales. Then we say, I crocheted a flower, first bit of crafting all week. Yay. Are you feeling better now then? Because you were very miserable on Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us. Right, you lot, I've got to go over to the iron and iron meters of hem. I mean, it's actually not that bad. It's actually not that bad at all. It won't be too bad. It's not. It's going to be fine. I keep telling myself that. I'm very glad I changed thread though, because this is not the one. But yeah, I need to go over to the ironing board and iron all of this, and that's going to take me a little while. So I'm going to call it a day, because we've been waffling for 2 hours and 20 minutes and actual sewing happened, and sewing for somebody else as well. Who even am I? But I will have, I feel like it's a total jinx to say this out loud, But Wednesday's video is going to be 9076, so long. At the moment, it's still in pieces, but that's the plan. And possibly the review video as well. That's the idea. I would like those both to be out next week. Yeah, wish me luck. I might need to. Nicola was coming on Thursday, and then she asked to rearrange to Tuesday, and I think I might need to put her off again till Thursday if that's okay with her. We'll have to see. But yeah, that's the plan. But there will be a hangout for the Patreon peeps on Wednesday, so I shall see you then. Catherine, Laurel, Nimaway, Caroline, and anyone else that wants to join us. And then obviously there'll be the hangout next Sunday as well. So thank you very much for everyone for coming and hanging out with me whilst I do some selfless sewing this week. And I shall see you all very soon. Bye.